Hello all my Holomaniacs out there, welcome back to the channel, it's so great to see you again. And we're here with part 3 of the Disneyland vs. Disney World Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, where we reveal the winner. I was initially just gonna say which one was better at the end of the Disney World vlog, but I wanted to be fair and give credit where credit is due, because Disneyland did some stuff better than Disney World, and Disney World did some stuff better than Disneyland. One of the parks did more stuff better, but I want to let y'all know what was great about both parks and which ones could use some more improvement. I do need to note this at the beginning though, I didn't get to do every little thing at each of the Halloween parties. Anything that I missed, I went and talked to friends who have done it, or I saw video footage of other people who have gone, just to make sure I was giving each side enough credit. But yes, I'm going to be as unbiased as possible to make sure that I tell you guys what the best one is, in my opinion. So, there are 5 main categories that I'm going to be going through these with and analyzing both the parties. First one is the Halloween ride overlays. The second one is the trick-or-treating. The third one is the fireworks show. Fourth one is the rare meet and greet characters. And number 5 is the parades/shows. So we're going to go through these one by one and decide who has the better party. First up is the Halloween ride overlays. Now both parks advertise that there are certain rides that get a Halloween makeover for this time. In Disney World, there is Space Mountain, who they turn off the lights, make it pitch black, and have a soundtrack that plays. At least that's what happened when I was there, which was very, very fun. The other one is Pirates of the Caribbean, where they will have cast members come on into the ride itself and interact with the boats and whatnot. And also in the queue line as well. Over in Disneyland, they do this every year. They turn Haunted Mansion into the Nightmare Before Christmas. They take Space Mountain and make it Ghost Galaxy. And also, I know this isn't in Disneyland Park, I'm technically gonna count this, where they have Guardians of the Galaxy, Monsters After Dark, where they take Mission Breakout over in DCA and change up the story a bit to where you're with Rocket as he's trying to find Groot, and there's monsters all over the place. So, both have Halloween overlays, but which one does it better? I gotta give this one to Disneyland. Although Disney World is cool, there's just not a lot there to change the main experiences. Disney World just seem to be little add-ons to just add a little extra special magic, whereas Disneyland's are completely different experiences. Disney World Space Mountain, they turn off the lights, add a little music, it's fun. Disneyland, they have a brand new story, brand new visuals that's completely changing your ride experience. Disney World, you get some extra characters on Pirates who interact with your ride. On the ride, there's really only one, and there's a couple people in the line, which does add a little extra magic. The Nightmare Before Christmas one, every scene has changed. Everything looks brand new. It doesn't even feel like the same ride, even though it is. As cool as these are, Disneyland, you win this one, hands down. Alright, so Disneyland is taking an early lead, but we'll see what happens as we get to the next element, trick-or-treating. At first, these seem extremely similar. They both have a similar function, where it's like they have a couple cast members with a large amount of candy at the end of the line, and as you come, they'll just put candy in your bag. But Disney World did something very special that I noticed as I was getting into the park the very first time. When you sign in for the party, they give you a trick-or-treating bag. Disneyland gives you a bag as well when you sign in, but there is a big difference between the two. Disneyland's comes empty, whereas Disney World's comes with candy already inside the bag. That was a nice little touch. I mean, it's not huge, but that little thing was enough to make me immediately say, I'm already enjoying this better. Disney World, they would just like double hand it and just plop a whole thing of candy in your bag. You can go to about 3 stops and have a full bag. Like, I'm not even making this up. I actually had someone in my party who did that. We went to 3 stops and she's already like, I need another bag. I'm already full. Disneyland, when I talk to people, they're like, well, they give you about 2 or 3 pieces of candy, or 2 or 3 like packages of candy per stop. Some of them give a little more, some of them give a little less, but not to the degree that Disney World does. Even though Disneyland still does it very well, and it's a great alternative to trick-or-treating for kids, Disney World gives you more candy. You start off with candy, so I gotta give this one to World. Okay, we're going to this one all tied up. Now, time for the fireworks show. Now, this was probably one of the toughest ones that I had to figure out because both shows, in its essence, are the same. They go through the same songs, they go through roughly the same fireworks show patterns. In essence, it's the same length, same stuff for the most part. There are a few differences though. With Disney World, you have the narrator from Haunted Mansion narrating the entire show, and he's like your ghost host. Your ghost host. Throughout the whole show. Whereas Disneyland, it's not the Haunted Mansion narrator, but actually Jack Skellington, who's telling you everything that's going on with the show. And there are some extra additions as well. In Disneyland, you do have Zero who flies over the castle, which is really cool. And you have an extra projection of Jack as he's talking on the shape of the moon, which Oogie Boogie gets to use as well, and other characters use throughout the entire show. Disney World doesn't have that, but it does boast the 360 fireworks show view. I didn't know this was a thing until I got there and cast members kept telling me, oh, don't go over in front of the castle where everyone else is going to be. No, go to Gaston's Tavern and you could see like the whole 360 show, which I would give them props. It was really cool to have fireworks going off everywhere around me. And this is going to shock some people, but Disneyland's is going to win this one. The 360 thing at Disney World was really cool, but there was a big problem with how this was set up. I could barely hear the music from Gaston's Tavern, and I had multiple cast members tell me that's the best place to go. But that's what makes Disney fireworks so special, is that there is a story connected to it, that there's music, that everything's timed to, and you can't see the projections on the castle from that far away, which is another element that makes Disney World or Disneyland fireworks so amazing. Disneyland, even though you don't get the 360 view, everything that was added only enhanced the experience. You rock that fireworks show, man. You rock that fireworks show. Alright, Disneyland is once again in the lead, but will Disneyland hold that lead when we get to rare characters? Another thing both parks boast is rare character meet and greets. Both Disneyland and World do have a good amount of rare characters that aren't normally in the parks. Whenever I was getting ready for both of them, I was making characters a high priority. As you guys know, that's a big part of my channel. Right off the bat, although Disneyland did have a good amount of characters, Disney World had much more rare characters that were there. But I noticed something that seemed normal to me, but it's different at Disney World, but we'll get there. The characters were on a bit of a rotation. For example, there was Jane Potter and Turk from Tarzan. They would never be out together. What would happen is like they would rotate. When Jane was out, Turk wasn't there, but whenever Jane would go away, Turk would come out. And they were on a bit of a rotation, so somebody was always there. If you wanted to meet both, you'd have to come back multiple times. Disney World, on the other hand, took a different approach. They had the Tarzan characters too, but they had Jane and Turk plus Tarzan, which was a nice addition, but all three were there at the same time. If you wanted to get the Tarzan characters, you could get them in one go and get more characters into your day. And later, as I found out after my Disneyland trip, I talked to some other folks and they said, oh, I'm sure you saw all the villains on Main Street. And I was like, what? They were not on the app. The villains were not on the app, but I looked and there were villains all over Main Street and the app never said anything about it. When you're doing a thing like Mickey's Not So Scary, you gotta plan this ahead of time. I could only pick certain characters, and if I had known that the villains were all out there in front, I would have picked some other characters. But they didn't advertise it well, so because of the fact Disneyland had less characters, and they didn't advertise most of the characters that were out, I have to give this one to Disney World. Sorry, Disneyland, but Disney World beats you on this one. Alright, so we go into this last category all tied up. Disneyland 2, Disney World 2. But this last one is going to crown the ultimate winner of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and that is parades/shows. So both Disneyland and Disney World boast a Halloween parade. Both are very different, but have some similarities as well. Like both start with the Headless Horseman trotting out before the show starts, and both surprisingly are very different. Disneyland's The Headless Horseman goes very slowly, however, he is accompanied with Ichabod. I did not know Ichabod was going to come out with him, which was really cool. Disney World does do some things a little similar. They don't have Ichabod, but I think their Headless Horseman is better. It goes a little faster. The Headless Horseman himself is doing much more. He's much more animated and a little scarier. Now, when we get to the main crux of the parade, they're actually very different. Disneyland is all about focusing on the Halloween-specific franchises. Like Nightmare Before Christmas, they have a couple floats. The villains are really well represented in this. They have, Dr. Facilier's got his own float. All the main villains are on another float. And Haunted Mansion gets a float. And it's just everything Halloweenified within Disney. It was a little short in my opinion. I felt one or two villains could have had their own float instead of putting everybody on one and just giving Dr. Facilier one. I still thought they did a really great job with it. Disney World's parade focused less on the Halloween specific franchises and focused more on everything Disney coming together to celebrate Halloween. It was pretty much any character under the sun all coming to just celebrate a fun Halloween party, which is really cool too. So both have their merits, but Disneyland's was much longer of a show, a whole lot more floats, and they had an insane amount of rare characters in this show that I didn't even know Disney had these characters. Like, there was Shenzi, Bonsai, and Ed from The Lion King. I'm like, what? I didn't know you could see them. Before I announce the winner of this, because this last bit is a huge factor in my decision. Disney World has a show called Hocus Pocus, whereas Disneyland has no show at all, so I can't compare that with anything. So yes, in the show Hocus Pocus, it happens right in front of the castle. It's the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus, and they're trying to throw the perfect Halloween party. And every ingredient that they get corresponds with another Disney villain who comes out and they interact with them until you get all the characters up there and it's just a big blowout party. Guys, this show is possibly one of the greatest shows that I have ever seen at a Disney park ever. The writing was brilliant. Just the way all the characters interacted with one another felt so realistic. It felt just so entertaining. I've never seen a show where everybody just lost their minds and cheered when every character came out. Like, this show is worth the price of admission alone into Mickey's Not So Scary in Disney World. It's just amazing, and it's the reason why Disney World wins. Both have their merits. Disney World, you have triumphed as the best Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a very happy Halloween. See ya!